All right, we are live on YouTube. This is a very special impromptu show I decided to do tonight before going to bed. Welcome to a very special episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight. Tonight, this very special show is being dedicated to a good longtime friend of mine that I met out here on YouTube almost 4 years ago. And he has been dealing with a bunch of turmoil out here, unnecessary turmoil, I must say, out here on YouTube lately. And I wanted to stand up for him, and I wanted to share with him and everyone else what's really going on, and help him, get back on track so he can continue creating the greatness that he was meant to create out here. But before we get to all of that, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it looks like it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure it is rolling smoothly. And it absolutely is. Okay, I don't plan on being on too terribly long because I'm honestly not feeling too well. I have the common cold, the flu, and I've been taking NyQuil and DayQuil. I do not have COVID. I know that for a fact. I have COVID tests. I'm all good. But, every now and then, once or twice a year, I get the flu. And even though I may sound kind of close to normal like I normally do. It may look normal. I'm just feeling more and more worn out. So forgive me if I butcher a few words here during this show. I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got. The title of this show is My Mod JT and I Will Clear Everything Up. One more time, My Mod JT and I Will Clear Everything Up. Well, Obviously, JT, if you're brand new here, you're probably not going to know who JT is. If you've been following me on YouTube, at least for the last several months, I've been on YouTube for about 5.5 years between a bunch of channels I've run here. I currently have 2 monetized channels. This one here, Coach Eli 2, Authentic Live Streams, and my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli. And, before, I started my main channel 3.5 years ago, about 5 years ago or so, a little over 5 years ago, I was running another channel that I shut down after I went through a breakup with an ex that used to help me run that channel. And then I came back to YouTube. When I came back to YouTube almost 4 years ago, I, connected with this gentleman. His name is Jonathan Tuttle. He used to go by Troll of the Century, Jonathan Tuttle, then Troll of the Century. And, he used to have a channel called JT Thundercock, which I thought was a very clever name. And I like that name because I first heard the term Thundercock from another coach out here named Coach Corey Wayne. And if you've been following, content in the male space regarding female nature, guys like myself that try to help guys better understand women. And I also help women better understand men. But more so for the, guys that are trying to better understand women, us male coaches, make guys aware that if you're too weak, needy, desperate, or insecure, your lady's going to go astray on you and go and hook up with Chad and Tyrone. And Coach Corey Wayne, calls him Chad Thundercock. Chad Thundercock. Let me make sure my audio sounds okay. Let me do an audio test real quick here. 1 second. Coach out here named Coach Corey Wayne. And all right, we're good. We're good. Audio sounds good. So, JT, named his channel JT Thundercock. I thought that was pretty clever. It was a fun and playful name. right? Now, from what I've known about JT, he's a pretty good guy. But, he's always been the type of guy that didn't necessarily want to settle down and just wanted to hook up with women. And he's always shared stories about hooking up with women and having fun and not settling down. Okay. And that's part of what I feel this guy is being chastised for. I feel he's being chastised for being a player. And I don't think it's fair. I'll tell you why. Because earlier tonight, I was talking with my lady about this situation. And my lady said it best. Okay? My lady said it best. She goes, you know what, baby? Everybody is a player when they're single, whether they're a man or a woman. And I'm like, holy shit, babe. That's why I love you. You're so honest. Everybody is a player when they're single, whether they're a man or a woman. We all want to be loved. We all want affection, romance, sex, whatever, right? Whether it's committed or not. We all want that, right? And a lot of us, fear giving up our freedom and fear committing to someone because we fear that we might miss out on something better, right? Or if you're a guy that's used to being with a lot of different women, and that's part of what excites you to see how many women you can get, settling down with one woman is going to be scary, right? And every single man and even woman, a woman nowadays, goes through that. Every single man and woman goes through that nowadays. But that doesn't mean at some point even a player is going to fall for someone. That doesn't mean someone that's been hooking up with lots of women or someone that's been hooking up with lots of men. There are women that hook up with lots of men. There are men that hook up with lots of women. But that doesn't mean those people that hook up with a lot of people aren't going to all of a sudden fall for someone that they initially were hooking up with. It's possible. Things happen. People start to get feelings. People start to bond and connect mentally and emotionally, right? And that's exactly what I feel happened to my good friend John Tuttle, JT, Troll of the Century, JT Thundercock, whatever name you've had out here, brother, I've kept up with him. I love him, right? I feel this man is being chastised out here primarily, and this is with no disrespect. I want to come out here and share this tonight in the most respectful ways possible. And I'm not here to attack any women. I'm going to mention some names, other names I'm not going to mention. I have my reasons for that, and those people know what reasons. The right people know the reasons. I'll mention what I can, and when I share other stories, I'll just, be a little more sly about it. How about that? Let's put it that way, right? Okay. But this all boils down to, in my opinion, this all boils down to, a bunch of middle-aged women that aren't happy that this guy was a player. And, he basically, I guess they were saying, serves him right for trying to play this woman, right? She played him in return or whatever, right? And see, that's not what happened here, right? There are some middle-aged women out here around my age that create content out of every little thing, and they're going to spin the narrative out of every little thing, and they're going to take it way out of context, because if they tell you the truth, it's not going to entertain the audience. It's not going to make it fun and exciting, right? Right? That's the truth of the matter. When you amp things up for an audience of people that love drama, it's going to keep them around longer, right? It's going to get them to engage more. It's going to elevate the highs and lows of their emotions, right? But if you share the truth, right, like I'm going to here tonight, and I have more to share in a second, because I'll be speaking with JT very soon. I'm still going to make the announcement I was going to make earlier on my Walking with Purpose stream. In case you missed my Walking with Purpose stream earlier, I was talking about this on my Walking with Purpose stream, and I was going to make this announcement I'll be making here tonight, earlier today on the Walking stream, but something happened, and I decided to put it off. I'll be making that announcement here in a little bit, right? It's so funny to me. It's so funny to me that, people continue to want to troll, and nobody cares if you troll. Nobody cares about anything you say. My lady doesn't care about anything at all, right? Do whatever you got to do. It's not a big deal. It's all good. I'm just here to create my content and help people. I'm not here to cause any issues. I'm not here to cause any issues at all. Yet you trolls just want to keep on projecting your insecurities, right? I just want everyone to get along, including you, troll. Okay? Who cares? We already got your ex. Who cares? Whether you do or you don't, who cares? Why? It doesn't matter. We don't care. We don't. All right? Whatever you think you've got, whatever, dude, it doesn't matter. Right? Because my lady and I are here to help uplift people. My lady and I don't hate anyone. We want to help as many people as possible better their lives, right? That's all we want to do, right? And we don't talk about you trolls. We don't talk about other people. We just do our thing, right? But people still want to troll because they just wish they could be like us. They wish they could be happy like us. They wish they could be good looking like us, right? My lady and I are very happy people, and we love each other. And you know what? Here's the thing. Even to you trolls out there, Chad and Tyrone, we already got your ex, okay? We love you too. We do. We love you too, bro. Okay? It's all good. It's not a big deal, right? It's all right. Do you not think that my lady's not going to make a public appearance at some point soon? She is. That's a big part of the future of our business, right? Okay? So it doesn't matter what you got or what you think you got. It really doesn't matter. We don't care. We don't pay attention to it. We've got too many other things going on in our life, right? And again, we don't hate you. We don't hate anybody. Okay? I'm only here tonight to stand up for John Tuttle, JT, and help him better understand what happened and help him also. And JT is a smart man. He pretty much knows what's going on. But right now, he's in a very heightened state of emotion because he actually did start to get feelings for this woman. And we can go ahead and say it because she's a public figure out here. And I have no issues with her either. Her name is Scotty, right? I think she changed her channel name back to Scotty from Scotty Unchained, right? So, again, I kind of explained what happened earlier, and I found out some more information between then and now, and I'm still pretty much feeling the same way. I still feel the same way as I mentioned earlier on my walking stream. Okay? Look, JT, he's a good guy. He's a fun guy. But yeah, he wasn't ready to settle down. He's been playing the field. But what guy and gal doesn't play the field when they're single, like my lady told me earlier tonight by phone, right? And that's what was happening when he was connected with Scotty, right? But what happened? And I talked about this before, and I failed to mention this earlier. You see, Scotty's been going through a divorce, and she's in her late 40s. She told me she was 48, same age as myself. I'm 48. She told me that when she used to be a moderator over here. And Scotty, you'd still be a moderator over here, if you handle things differently. And maybe one day you can be a mod here again and we can reconnect. Once you handle everything that you need to handle for yourself. And you should be doing that more so behind the scenes and not making a big spectacle out of it out here on YouTube. But you're doing that, Scotty, because I understand right now, because of the way you're feeling, you feel you need all the attention you can get. And by putting all this stuff out there is the quickest way to get attention. But is it the right attention? No, it's not the right attention. It really isn't, right? And I'm not watching it because I think you're a lot better than the way you're showing up. I feel you're a much smarter and better person than the way you're currently showing up. Right? And I understand why you're showing up that way because of what you're going through in your life. It's your midlife crisis. You're going through divorce. You know, women go through the menopausal change, and I'm not trying to say too much. Maybe you're going through that. There are a lot of things that that this woman's probably going through that's going to affect her emotionally and mentally, right? And when a woman goes through something like this, especially if she's going through a divorce, when a man comes around, what she's going to try to get from that man is emotional support, right? And what I was saying in the past, I'll say it again, because when I talked about this many weeks ago, right? Maybe people missed it. Basically, with no disrespect to you, JT, or you, Scotty, basically, JT, you were Scotty's emotional tampon. The bottom line is, you were Scotty's emotional tampon. Now, did Scotty do that on purpose to hurt you? No. But you were just at the right place at the right time. But at the same time, you know, you didn't expect to get feelings for Scotty because you were just trying to find a hot woman to hang out with, and whatever happens, happens, right? Like any normal, decent guy, any normal guy would do, right? Right? You were just, you know, hanging out, having fun, and trying to hook up. Just like any normal guy would try to do, and any normal woman would try to do. So there's no reason why people should be coming at you. None at all. None. And I'll share why they're coming at you, JT. Well, the bottom line is it's cringy drama content. It's entertainment, right? It's something for them to talk about, okay? It's something for them to talk about. Like the Bonnie Raitt song, let's give them something to talk about, right? That's all it is, right? So that's what it was. JT was starting to get to know Scotty, and they were supposed to meet. And they had long conversations, right? And JT wasn't expecting to get feelings, right? And Scotty, based on what she's going through, I don't think she's emotionally detached at all from her ex-husband-to-be. So she's not emotionally available to even emotionally attach to JT. So she didn't get emotionally attached, right? Although maybe she let JT believe that she was in the clear, and that's what probably kind of hurt JT, because after all these conversations that I assume they had behind the scenes, just having great conversation, getting to know each other, right? And JT probably hearing Scotty's story, he felt for her. He felt for her. He heard her story, and he felt for her and wanted to be there for her, right? And guess what? Guess what happened? The moment the guy starts to share with the woman that he cares is the moment that she flips. Why? Not because she wanted to flip out on purpose, because she's not in the right emotional state to move forward with someone new at this point, right? That's all that happened here. That's all that happened here. Nothing less and nothing more, right? And anything else that happened in between is just stupid stuff. You know, when you're talking with someone all the time and you're connecting with them and bonding with them, you might send them some pictures. You might tell them something about your personal life that you haven't told someone else, right? That's what happens when you get to know someone in real life outside of YouTube. But when that happens to two people that are on YouTube, when one little thing goes wrong, it becomes a public fucking spectacle, right? And then it's all about, I'm going to go live and expose you. I'm going to go live and tell the world about what you did to me, right? Come on, grow the fuck up. I have seen this crap happen on this platform for the last 5+ years. And as a coach here, I've learned to understand why it happens, and I've learned how to avoid dealing with people like that. And that's why I'm standing up for JT here tonight, because I want this to be a lesson learned for everyone. And I'm not trying to coach you, JT. I'm not. I respect you as an equal, and I love you like a brother. And I know when I've said in the past, I love you like a brother, people make fun of me. But I honestly do love you like a brother, right? And believe it or not, I am a little bit older than you. I'm only a couple years older than you. And I'm not saying I'm any better than you. But I think if you are not in the emotional state you're in right now, based on what happened, I think you'd be able to understand it at the level I do. But I think right now, your better judgment is clouded by your emotions. And that's okay. That's normal, because if I was in your shoes, which I have been before, my emotions would be clouded, over my better judgment. So here's the announcement. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Coach Eli 2 Authentic live streams, JT and I will be going live to talk about this a little bit, and to also talk about relationships in general and other upcoming types of content we're going to be working on together. So it's going to be JT and I for about the first half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And then after we're done going one-on-one, we're going to bring my lady on. My lady's going to come on, and she's going to give the female perspective of this. And here's the thing. My lady's a middle-aged woman, just like the rest of the women that are coming at JT, right? So I'm not sitting here criticizing middle-aged women. Okay, I'm not sitting here criticizing anybody. I'm just saying that my lady's a middle-aged woman, and she's going to come on and give her honest perspective, because she's in a good place with me, and she's going to be honest and fair about this. And believe it or not, even though she's a woman, when she makes mistakes, she admits her mistakes. She's not the type of woman that thinks her shit doesn't stink. When her shit stinks, she says it, right? And whenever she goes to my restroom and uses the restroom, she's like, baby, don't go in there because my poo-poo's smelling. I said, well, I kind of dumbed it down a bit. But boy, man, I got to tell you, man, her poo-poo stinks. I'll tell you that, man. I got to go in there and spray that thing with some Lysol and other stuff. Ooh, man. But I respect that about her because she's not a jaded woman, right? And I'm not trying to criticize any other women for being jaded or scorned, but the bottom line is that I'm just going to speak in general. There are a lot of women out there Listen, I don't need you to be trolling in my chat. I don't need you to be trolling here in my chat. I'm not done sharing what I know, what I feel happened. I don't need trolls coming here on sock accounts to try to say Scotty lied, friendships died. Ooh. You drama people are missing the whole entire point here. This is about people that are having midlife crises and going through things like any normal human being would go through. The difference is they're on YouTube. And what people do on YouTube in these situations is they use YouTube as an outlet. And then they use it to try to make content and get attention so that way they can feel better about themselves. But that's the worst thing you can do. And I know that because when I first came on this platform over 5 years ago, I used to do the same thing. Yeah, I came out here to run my coaching business, but I had just gone through a very bad breakup where a woman I was supposed to get married to in my early 40s cheated on me, and I was hurt. I was jaded. I was angry at women. And you know what? I lashed out here on YouTube, right? And yeah, I was angry, bitter, jaded, scorned, however you want to say it, right? I was using YouTube not only as a place to run my business, but I was using YouTube as my outlet. That's what's happening here, right? And I've spoken with JT behind the scenes. And here's the thing. If he does cancel for tomorrow night, that's okay. If he cancels for tomorrow night, that's okay. I'll do a show with my lady instead. And no harm, no foul. I'm still going to be his friend. I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm not going to push him to be here. I will set up the show, and if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But it's not going to change my feelings about him or anything else. I've learned to understand that shit happens, right? But I'm going by what we talked about earlier today, and he wanted to do this. He's been wanting to do this for quite some time. And I'm opening up my platform to him. Sorry, I'm opening up my platform to him, which is what I'm trying to say. And another thing, and I say this with love, I really wish, because there are a lot of people I've met out here on YouTube that stem from this one community that I've just been a part of. That's been like how do I say this the right way? It's been like a Heinz 57, like a mix of everything. Like there are so many different walks of life in all of these groups I've been entangled with out here on YouTube, right? But I've always been open to pretty much connect with and do content with any of them. With the exception of a few people, respectfully speaking, I can't work with them because they're being paid to make content on me, and it creates a conflict of interest. They know it and I know it. And regardless of what they say on their shows, that's just the fact. And listen, I respect that, and I respect their side of things. And even though they don't come off like they respect my side, I think they understand it, right? It's an understanding, put it that way, right? So I'm even willing to work things out with Scotty. But Scotty, here's the thing. I say this with love, right? You should never, ever, 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 ever be ashamed of anything in life. I talked about this earlier on my Walking with Purpose stream, right? And I haven't been paying too much attention, but apparently, Scotty was telling people that you were this executive doing this and doing that, right? Right? And then it was found out through JT that you work, for Burger King, and he was hurt that you lied to him. So he shared that information with some other women. Let's just say that I want to respectfully not mention their names, okay? Because I don't want to cause any issues here. That's not the right way to do things. You should never be ashamed of any job you have or anything that you have, because the right people will accept you for who you are, regardless of what you have or you don't have, right? Right? But I think what happened, Scotty, is you got caught up in the excitement of YouTube, and you started to care more about what other people and the YouTube court of public opinion thinks of you than only caring about how you feel about yourself. Because, Scotty, like I've said before many times when you used to be around, the only opinion of yourself that should really matter is your own. Again, I'll repeat that. The only opinion of yourself that should really matter is your own. And the problem you're having, Scotty, is that you care about everyone else's opinion of you. And anyone that lives their life that way is going to fail miserably. Sorry, it's going to fail miserably and you're going to lose every time, right? If you let this stuff get to you, especially out here on YouTube, these people will run you off of YouTube faster than you can blink your eye. I don't want that to happen to you or anyone else. So you said that, in my opinion, because you wanted to make yourself come off more prestigious than you are. And the bottom line is, you can still feel prestigious about yourself working any job, including Burger King, McDonald's, work for a restaurant, or whatever job you have, right? And here's the one thing, Scotty, that you and most other women don't understand about men, okay? Men only want one thing. We want honesty. We want honesty, loyalty, trust, and being faithful, right? See, we don't care what our women do for a living. And quite frankly, we don't even want to know what you do for a living until we're committed to you, right? For women, before they will even go out on a date with a man, they ask, what do you do for a living, right? But most men don't ask about what women do for a living because honestly, we really don't care what you do for a living until we're with you and committed. Once we're committed to you, we care about everything. But we want to make sure that there's going to be something there before we start caring about anything about you, right? We'll be nice to you and good to you and have fun with you, but we're not going to completely open up emotionally and want to know everything about you until we know you're with us legitimately, right? So had you been open and upfront initially about everything, JT would have accepted that and everyone else would have accepted that, right? Now, will there always be some people that will say, oh, you know, Scotty works for Burger King and, oh, that's a crappy job. And, oh, she has a low end job. Yeah, there are going to be people out there that are very childish people. We've got grown ass men and women out here on YouTube, more so than men, but there are some women too. Grown ass men and women out here on YouTube in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that behave like teenagers or younger, right? And they're very weak and insecure and very, you know, mentally and emotionally unstable. Those are the ones that are going to come at you and attack you for that, right? And you shouldn't let that get to you because they're only projecting their misery onto you, right? That's the truth of the matter right there. That's what I feel happened here, right? That's what I feel happened here. And, you know, I guess apparently once JT shared that video with other people and other people found out about Scotty's job at Burger King, right? She flipped out and started streaming about it and going crazy about it. Now, I haven't watched any of those streams. I just don't have the time to do it. But, you know, I would still, you know, get her recommendations. Even though I did unsubscribe, YouTube still sends the recommendations. And sometimes I would just look to see, hey, is she still talking about this, right? And that's what a bunch of people do out here on YouTube when they're going through something, right? When they're going through something, they come out here and run these poor me, pity me live streams and say, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. He hurt me. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, this and that, right? And I'm not saying you went to that extent, Scotty, but that's how it comes off, right? And then you got these middle-aged women. You got 30 and 40-year-old women in their 30s and 40s out here that I know very well. And honestly, I don't think any of these women deep down inside are bad women. But you got these women that are blaming JT completely for this, right? And maybe you're trying to blame JT because he's a player and, he really never cared about her. How do you know that? Someone can get feelings at any time. You could be the biggest player for the first 40 years of your life and then come across a woman you're trying to play and she starts hanging out with you, but she starts doing things that blow your mind away, and then you start getting feelings. It happens. It happened to him. How do I know? Because we've been connected behind the scenes. Him and I talked about this. He talked about it with the Coach Eli moderator group chat on Facebook behind the scenes. Right? But let me tell you what my group didn't do that the rest of you would have done, right? All of those voice messages that came through the group, right? None of them have been shared publicly because we don't do that to people. Now, am I talking about this now? Yes, but I'm talking about this with the blessing of JT to lead up to a show we're going to be doing tomorrow. Because more so tomorrow, when we do this show, and hopefully he still shows up. If not, that's okay. I think he will. And if not, that's okay too. I want to give him more of the floor. I want to give him more time. I want to talk less and listen more. I want to give this guy the opportunity and the platform to have his say. And once we get through this, the show's going to go on. And here's the thing. Okay? I've got a moderator by the name of GLM. She lives here in the Bay Area. I'm never removing her mod wrench, and I am becoming her friend, and my lady's becoming her friend. Yes, she said some things about JT. I don't think she understood the story as well as hopefully she'll understand it if she watches these past 2 streams I've done here and watches the live stream I do with JT tomorrow night. But regardless of that, even if she doesn't change her mind and sees what's really happening, I can separate that. She will still be a moderator here, and so will JT, and they will never get removed. And if they only come at different times when the other one's not there, that's on them. But I'm not going to remove any of them, and I'm not going to sit there and have to choose between 2 friends and 2 people I want to be friends with and collaborate with on YouTube because of a difference of opinion between them. That's between them, not me, right? I'm not going to be pinned and pitted against people ever again like I've been on this platform by a few drama shit show channels out there that are getting paid to do this type of content. I'm not going to let that happen. And I think that's what's been kind of happening to JT and some of these other people. It all leads back to a few people that are creating this type of content to entertain their audience. Their job is to pin and pit people against each other and then just talk about it. It's like the TMZ of YouTube. I've said that time and time again. If you folks can learn to understand that, and you get to the level I've gotten to regarding it, then you won't let it bother you anymore, right? Then we can move on and create the greatness we want to create, and then let these people keep talking about us while we do our own thing with a different audience. That's what I've done. In the past, I've gone back and forth with people over situations like these. That's another reason why I wanted to talk about this, because I've learned to separate other people's problems from mine, right? Big Nasty's in the house. GLM is a wonderful woman. You care to identify yourself, sir? This is a 1-minute delay here, so I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get this in time before you leave. I'll let you stay for now, Big Nasty. You're probably blocked here on your main account. JT is a very smart man. He's a nurse. He has a good job. And he's a pretty funny dude. He's a guy. He's a guy. What do you expect? Do you want him to act like a chick? Do you ladies want the guy to act like a chick or act like a guy? He likes women. He likes pussy, just like I do. You ladies like the male body part, don't you? So what's the difference? What is the difference here, right? I mean, he was just running his game like every other guy would, and every other woman would too. You ladies run your game, so why can't he run his game and me run my game and every guy run our game? Why? I'm a simp for God loves me. Well, God bless you if you're a simp, brother. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I'm a simp for God loves me. You're just trying to get a laugh out of me, aren't you? You know it's not good to be a simp for anyone, dude. You're just having fun. And that's all good. I can take it, bro. I can take it, man. It's all good in the hood. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion or opinions, right? But everybody has a different agenda on YouTube and in life. And some people's agendas just don't mesh. And that's okay. That doesn't mean we have to fight. That doesn't mean, we can't get along. Right? Now, in some cases where things do create a conflict of interest, then the best thing to do is to just quietly and politely part ways. Just like I had to do with some people out here on YouTube. I don't hate these people. I don't hate anyone. It's just a conflict of interest that has no upside for me. So it's not worth my time even associating with them, at least for the time being, because there's no upside for me, right? And there has to be upside, right? I'm trying to help people better handle their relationships, even online on the internet, especially out here on YouTube, now that a lot of people, do live stream panels and they build these communities, right? I'm trying to better help people understand that not everyone's going to get along, and don't let anyone get to you. Nightbot timed you out, Big Nasty. Don't you worry, GLM is good to me. She spreads the love for me over any other woman. Well, Big Nasty, I've kind of had enough of your time-wasting sarcasm, so I'm going to let you go. Have a good night. Understand that there are certain channels that are going to make content out of every little thing and spin narratives in ways that's going to entertain their audience more so than bore their audience. JT, that's what's happening here. Okay? Now, what's going on with Scotty is legit. That's something I think you two can work out. And hey, I'd be willing to help you both work it out if you wanted me to. We can even do a show here on Coach Eli too. We could do it on Scotty's channel. We could do it on your channel. I've always offered my help to everyone, right? But when you're dealing with other channels that are doing reaction videos to what's happening here, I'm not saying that what they're saying is completely false. There may be nothing false that they're even saying, but they're going to amp things up and present things in a way that make it more damning and entertaining for their audience. You got to understand that. And they know they're doing that, right? They know they're doing that for a couple of reasons. Number one, the first reason is because their audience will react to it more and keep coming back. And number two, they know what they're saying is not completely true, or it's being, amped up a bit, right? That you, the person they're talking about, and blowing the situation a bit out of proportion, may come to try to defend yourself and bring more drama to their entertainment channel, right? And that's all it is. That's all I've been trying to tell you folks, right? I've been trying to help you folks better understand that, right? Different people do different things. Different people have different purposes out here on YouTube and in real life, right? And people that you think are your friends really aren't your friends. Or maybe maybe they want to be your friends in one aspect, but when it comes to their business, for their business to be successful, they've got to use you as their entertainment guinea pig. And that, to me, creates a conflict of interest that I want nothing to do with, because there's no upside for me, and there's no upside for anyone else that gets involved with people like that, right? That's all I'm saying. It's the truth, right? But that's all I have to say about this. We are at 46 minutes, just turned 47 minutes. I need to get on out of here. I'm going to be going to pick up my lady tomorrow. I got to get some rest and set up the stream for tomorrow night. If JT doesn't show up tomorrow night, he may cancel. You never know. I understand he's going through a lot. Then my lady and I will probably do a show instead. Okay? So, it is what it is. I don't get mad at things anymore. I don't let things bother me. I go with the flow. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. But JT, I've got your back. You're a good dude. You're a dude. That's all this boils down to. You're a guy. You're trying to hook up with a woman like any guy, like any normal guy would. Just like any normal woman would try to hook up with a guy. And you got caught up because you got to know the woman. You felt bad for what she's going through, and you started to bond and connect with her emotionally. And a lot of these other people either don't want to see that or legitimately don't see it. I think they all see it, but they don't want to say that because then they'd have no drama content to sell to their audience. That's what I think this is more so boiling down to. But hey, we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. And if we don't do it tomorrow night, we'll do it another time. So tomorrow night, tentatively at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, JT's time in Texas, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams. I'll be going live with JT, John Tuttle, and we're going to be talking about this and some other things in the future of our collaboration. So join us. And if things change, I will keep you in the loop through my community tab here on Coach Eli 2 and on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. Make sure you also go to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, and subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and that way you won't miss anything, regardless of where I put content between both the channels. And Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes. It's also below in the description, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. With that being said, have yourselves a great one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.